Hey everybody, check out this super duper cute card I have for you. I love it so much. Even my tiny hands are excited. I am so excited about this card because it's just simple and gorgeous and awesome, and there's a fun inside too. So let's get started. I'm very excited about it. Also, at the end of this video, I will tell you all about the things that I have going on this month here at the Creativity Cave, because there's a whole bunch of great things that you don't want to miss out on. All right, so this card features the In Bloom bundle, which is actually one of my absolute favorites in the mini catalog. I really love it, and I feel a little bit like I'm cheating on my Pretty Perennial stamp set when I use it, but it's okay. We can all be friends and enjoy one another's company, right? So this has a really amazing set of dies, and they're all stitched. Now, the dies aren't necessarily designed to work with the stamped images, but they go fantastically together in a card, and I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. Okay, so I'm going to create this really cool background right here with one of my blending brushes and a stencil, and the stencil actually comes from the Forever Gold Specialty Designer series paper. These are all laser cut pieces. There's some frames, there's some shapes and different things. This is an amazing set. So if you don't have these, don't walk to my online store and get them because they're really great. Now what I did was I took one of those frames, here's one of the gold frames, and I'm going to use this as a stencil for my card. So let me show you how I did that. I'm starting with a half a sheet of Coastal Cabana. You might recall this as the color that lets us know God loves us. One of my favorite colors of all time. And it's just a happy card, or a happy color for a happy card. And the best part, of course, is that the contrast with the yellow shades and the Coastal Cabana is just fantastic. Oh, I love it. I'm telling you, my happy hands are happy. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take my blending brush, which, sorry, I need to grab, and I'm going to place my stencil right about here on my card, maybe a little lower, and using my Coastal Cabana ink and my blending brush, I'm just going to swirl some color right on here. Now I want this to be pretty intense, so I'm not actually gonna get rid of the first bit of ink. I'll go right to my card because I want to make sure it shows up. And I'm just gonna hold this in place while I swirl the ink. And if you look careful, you can kind of see how you're doing. Looks good, and there we go. Oh, I love it. By the way, it's pretty hard to stick this back on and get it lined back up, so make sure when you take it off, you are ready. Okay, so that looks awesome. I also have a little skinny strip of my DSP. It got away from me. So this is a 1/2 inch strip, and I'm just going to cut this to have up two pieces that aren't necessarily even. One's maybe just a little longer. Oh man, I cut those right even. Well, now there's two pieces that aren't necessarily even. Okay, and I'm going to position these on my card with a little seal adhesive. Oh, I'm giggling. When I try to cut things in half evenly, I can't, but when I want them to be uneven, I can't do that either. I tell you. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of put these on here a little bit at an angle. All right, like so. I've also taken my dies and die cut the 3 pieces that I need. I've used Daffodil Delight, Mango Melody, and Granny Apple Green for these 3 pieces. And we're going to go ahead and pop them on my card. Well, we'll pop this piece up and then we'll glue dot the others. Now I have a little sneaky trick that I've been using lately, and that is if you pop up something on here and then you want another popped up layer, putting 2 dimensionals, especially in a smaller image like this, can be a lot of thickness. But if you take a glue dot and put it on the back of your piece, and then you put another glue dot stacked right up on top of one another, you get a little bit of lift with those 2 glue dots together. You can see that's it's created a little bit of thickness. And so when you put that on your card, what you end up with is a little lift. And so it's like almost just a little bit of dimension, but not too much. You know what I mean? You want just the right amount. So my card's not going to be too thick, but I still get a little lift. Because as you well know, everything's better popped up, right? I'll take that little leaf and just kind of tuck this in back here, like so. And the last thing, well, actually a couple things I'm going to do for this, and then we're going to stamp on the inside. I've got my in color enamel dots, and I'm just going to put one of those right in the center. Well, this is Bumblebee. It looks really good right there and adds, again, another little bit of dimension without there being much thickness. So I love that part. And I've got my sentiment that I'm going to stamp. I wanted to make sure this really showed up nicely, so I'm going to stamp this in Stays On instead of Memento Black, just so it's nice and vibrantly black. And my sentiment is from the Itty Bitty Birthdays stamp set. Let's Celebrate You. Now, what's great about this is we're going to stamp some flowers to go on the inside of our card. So I've got a piece of Whisper White that's 4 by 5 1/4. And when I say Whisper White, I do mean basic white, because Whisper White's retired. It's basic white, which is basically the same thing. It's just we switched over to a new supplier for our cardstock. So what I'm going to do is take and add a couple of blooms to this. And one of the things I love is that you can layer these images up together on our card. So I'm going to start actually with some leaves. So I've got my stem and leaf images, and I'm going to stamp these in Granny Apple Green to coordinate. And I'm going to take and kind of have one coming in here at an angle. And then when I flip this upside down, then it curves in the opposite direction. And we'll stamp another one kind of like that. And we might add more, we'll see. And then I'm going to add my stems, okay? So I'll stamp this one in Daffodil Delight. And when I say stamps, I meant flowers. Okay, so we've got Daffodil Delight right there, looking good. And then I'll take and put a Coastal Cabana on here, like so. Okay, those look great. And we'll fill this out with a couple of leaves. So I'll stick one right there, and flipping this around, we'll stick another one right here. Okay, so that looks great. The next thing I want to do is add some centers to my flowers, because I think that looks fantastic. So I'll take a little Bermuda Bay, which is a shade darker than my Coastal Cabana, and I'll stamp this right in the center. And then I'm also going to take some Mango Melody, which would be a shade darker of the Daffodil Delight, and I'll stamp this in the center of that flower. And both of those look great. But here's where things get real good. We're going to take our Stays On ink once again, and the sentiments in the stamp set are really awesome as well. I love this. So we have Let's Celebrate You, and then we're going to add to the inside, Congrats, You're So Fancy Now. This has to be like the best sentiment ever, right? So I'll just take and ink that up again with my Stays On, stamp it right across the bottom like so. And then here's where it gets awesome. I'm going to take this little dotted image, which I love. This is another one of my favorites in here. And I'm just going to stamp that in the center of both of these flowers. And I just love how that kind of makes everything really pop. All right, so we've got a great inside to our card. We'll adhere that. And then this is just one of those cards that just makes me so happy, because the colors are just so fresh and bright and happy. So I hope you've loved this card. If you would like to purchase any of the supplies that I use to make this, I would so appreciate your business. When you shop with in my online store with the Creativity Cave, you help bring more awesome free tutorials like this each week. And of course, your business is really greatly appreciated. Now, when you do shop with me, I have all kinds of awesome perks and rewards for my customers. So I have a great VIP rewards program that I would love to welcome you to be a part of. So make sure you check all the information about that out on my blog, and all the links will be in the description of this video for you. I also have a free PDF tutorial with 12 video projects that are included in both English and metric system units. You can purchase this for $15, or you can get it for free when you spend $50 in my online store. And this is available all month of March as a gift with purchase. And I also have some online classes coming up at the end of this month. The first one is the Vine Design Creativity to Go kit. And oh my gosh, you guys, these cards are amazing. They're simple and classic and clean and wonderful. You're going to love them. I also have an amazingly happy set of cards coming up for the Butterfly Brilliance online class. These are both fantastic classes, so I think you will love being a part of them if you register. And I also have game night coming up, and the reason I'm mentioning that, it's not actually the registration doesn't actually open until the 1st of April, but we're going to use this bundle that I was using today. The In Bloom bundle will be featured during game night in April, so I think it's going to be great. So keep a watch out for that. And finally, I have an amazing spring retreat coming up. You can register for the virtual version of this for $60. It includes amazing projects, demonstrations, card challenges, lots and lots of prizes, and all kinds of fun and shenanigans. You won't want to miss it. This is all happening on March 27th, but we're doing a few things a little early too. So make sure you get involved in this. And again, all those links will be in the description of this video. Thank you guys so much for stamping with me today. I hope you loved these cards and they've made you smile today. I will see you right back here again soon. Happy stamping, guys. Bye-bye.